Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Funnel Trade and the Friday Seal Deals. We're going to do things a little differently this week. I'm going to talk a little bit about the current state of the market, these festival in a box things that have happened, the crisis of confidence in Magic, what to do about it going forward, and then finally I will have a couple of deals for you. So, we've all seen these mystery booster convention editions fall in price over the last little while because WotC keeps dumping them out through Secret Lair, and it's becoming apparent that they have many, many, many more boxes of these than we originally thought, and they're trying to couple them with unbought Secret Lairs with draft boxes that they have laying around in their warehouses, and with old Commander decks too, because why not? If it's sitting around and you can't get it to move any other way, bag it up with a Secret Lair and try to dump it that way, anything. And then we have this most recent Las Vegas Edition Festival in a box that has all of these booster packs from a whole bunch of mostly standard sets recently. And it's just a way to try to move all this product that is overprinted, that WotC cannot move through the system normally, that they refuse to try to move any other way. So they're trying to dump it directly to buyers through these festival in a box sold through Secret Lair. And so, there's a couple things to unpack here. And in economics and finance and markets, we talk about some adages, and one of them, of course, is that the rising tide lifts all boats. And of course, the opposite is true. The falling tide lowers all boats. And something we'll probably see going forward as WotC increasingly tries to dump all of this extra product that was overprinted, and card stores have too much product, and distributors have too much product, and Amazon dumps continue, and everything else, is that it will bring down the prices of other products in the Magic ecosystem. And the reason for that is that if you imagine a kid who walks into his local game store and he's got some birthday money burning a hole in his pocket, and he sees even a Crimson Vow draft box on the shelf for $85, he may think, man, I can have the experience of just opening an entire draft box, gorging on those 36 booster packs, and having fun with it. And so they might pass up even the better product, the better long-term product, the more fun product, the better value product, in order to buy that cheapest product that will give them the best adrenaline hit right then. And so that kind of thing happens on a small scale all over the place in markets, and it will bring down the price of even good products in the Magic market. Things like my favorite things right now, like DMR collector boxes that I think are just incredibly underpriced. But, it'll continue to hurt those things. And so I think we're going to continue to see for quite a while a lot of Magic products come down in price. And, a patron sent me this a couple days ago, Versus Games, apparently 10-year anniversary sale. And, it's nothing to do with Versus Games, but it's just an example of the kind of prices that card stores are blowing stuff out at. Now, yeah, they're having an anniversary sale, and they're probably got way too much product, and they probably need some more cash flow, so they're trying to move product. And of course, it seems like they have some kind of subscription service that you can get these prices through. And so, that's a good part of a business model nowadays, get everybody to sign up to a subscription for everything. But if you look at these prices, almost every one of these things is being sold below original wholesale price, and a lot of them below even lowered wholesale prices, because yes, distributors do occasionally lower prices when they are the ones stuck holding the bag and they're trying to move the product. Now, exceptions to this, of course, Strixhaven collector boxes would have been about, low 170s was the original standard collector box wholesale price back when this came out, before the price increases of summer of 2022. And Lord of the Ring collector boxes were around 290 or so. But I think everything else on here is sold at a loss to move the product. And of course, that lowering tide from this will sink all boats a little more. It'll put downward pressure on all the rest of Magic products. And here's a whole nother screen of them. Are there any on here that you would actually make money on? Dragon's Maze, yeah. I guess technically that would be sold at a profit, but not at an acceptable utilization of capital, because they would have been holding that box for, golly, 8-10 years. How old is that? I can't even remember. But it just goes to show how glutted the entire system, from WotC to distributors to retailers, is with product right now, that you see these kind of things. And so Again, nothing picking on Versus games, but it's just another example, along with Amazon dumps, along with these festivals in a box, and everything else of too much product out there, and it's going to continue to hurt the price of Magic products for the foreseeable future. And now we're headed towards the fall, we're headed towards Black Friday, we're headed towards the time of year where a lot of card stores try to reduce their inventory, and we're headed towards competition with the Christmas season when people do other things and spend their disposable income on other stuff. And so I expect that prices will just continue to come down for the foreseeable future. And, I look out today and I see something like this, $186 for a single box of this, or you can spread that shipping over all six. And it's just incredible, crazy prices. But it's a victim of the current situation with WotC, with overprinting, with the stupidity of how they're running their business, with too much product in the market, a crisis of confidence in Magic. And this is cheaper than the standard collector box wholesale price right now of one high 180s. And so the fact that you're getting this half premium priced product that is a secret master set, as Professor originally said, it was a secret master set. The power level and the card curation is like that of a master set, but it's not called a master set, and it's sold at the half premium price tag instead. But you're getting that for, at the retail level, for less than the wholesale cost of a standard collector box. And so that's the kind of crazy market we're in. So I said there were three things to talk about. And the first was the falling tide. And, the second is the flight to safety. It's going to be money, investor money, a little bit of player money too, but it seems players aren't as dissatisfied right now as the collectors and investors are. So there's going to be a lot of collector and investor money that starts to take that flight to safety, as we say in the stock market. When you think that consumer discretionary is a bad place to have your money in, well, maybe you'll take a flight to safety to healthcare or industrials or something else. And so that money is going to flee Magic for a while, and it's going to come into other things. And so I expect, similar to what we saw last fall when everybody got so upset with WotC over the Baldur's Gate rug pull, over overprinting of Double Masters 2022, over the Lost Legends hysteria that petered out into nothing that so many people lost so much money on, and then eventually Magic 30 and the beginning of monthly major releases and all that stuff that accumulated last fall and got people so upset with WotC. And what did we see? We saw a giant uptick in Flesh and Blood prices. And from about November of 2022 to April of 2023, we saw prices rise. Now, yes, Flesh and Blood has given back some of those gains since April, but I expect in the coming months that flight of safety will start landing investor and collector money in Flesh and Blood and in Pokemon more and more and more. And so what I'm going to give you as the actual deals for this week are first, the first three unlimited boxes of Flesh and Blood, because they are too cheap. Again, we are 22 months since Welcome to Wraith Unlimited was declared out of print. 22 months. And it's $84. And Arcane Rising, same thing. It's only been 23 months since this was declared out of print. $113. And of course, Crucible of War Unlimited, $86. And this was actually the first unlimited product that Legend Story Studio declared out of print. And it's been 2 years, and it's $84. And so as that flight to safety happens all of this fall into the winter, and then however long it takes for WotC to change the course and steer the ship away from the iceberg, you're going to see upticks in things like Flesh and Blood and Pokemon. And just to go into Pokemon briefly, I'm not going to point out any particular Pokemon deals, but we're kind of at that stage where Sword and Shield era is over, and we are firmly in the Scarlet and Violet era. We're about to see our fourth set, and we're about to see 151 come out also. So Sword and Shield is over. If you're still waiting for reprints of Sword and Shield to meaningfully move prices, they ain't coming. And to the extent that we could see tiny reprints still, they won't move prices significantly. So if you have been holding out you need to go ahead and get whatever Sword and Shield you want to get. Now, if you've listened before and you're in a good position on Sword and Shield and you're maybe full to the gills of Sword and Shield booster boxes, then Scarlet and Violet boxes are very attractively priced, low 90s, $100 for Obsidian Flame, which is the most recent one that's been released. So the prices are great right now, but I expect that flight to safety over the next 3, 6, maybe even 9 months to start pushing these prices up more, especially on these late Sword and Shield era products. And now, I had said that I had 3 things to discuss, and so far I've only discussed 2. I discussed the falling tide and the flight to safety. And the third is a discussion that markets eventually turn. And great markets eventually turn downwards, and bad markets eventually turn upwards. And you do not want to stay negative too long. And so something that I will try to touch on repeatedly over the next 3 or 6 or 9 months is realize when markets are turning. Don't stay negative too long, because there will come a point where lines cross. And what I mean by that is that Dominaria Remastered, let's say it loses another $5, $10, maybe $15 on these boxes. There will come a time when you might want to try and realize that it's too cheap. The market is overreacted. People are panic selling too much. There's too much capitulation. We're probably not there yet. We probably have many months before we get there. But understand that that can happen. It will happen at some point. And don't get caught flat-footed after the market has already come up 30%. So that's why I always advocate buying all the way down. Catch the falling knife. Dumb people who are inexperienced in markets will like to parrot on about, don't catch a falling knife, wait till it hits the floor and then you can safely pick it up. And the problem is you don't know where the floor is. You don't know when it will hit. And so you want to buy all the way down. You'll buy around the bottom and you'll buy a little bit on the way back up. And that's the way on the long timeline, over a lot of purchases, over a lot of investing, over decades, you minimize the cost you pay for assets. That's the best you can do, is minimize it on average. So remember that markets will eventually turn. The lines will eventually cross. $83 boxes of Zendikar Rising Draft with the excellent Zendikar Rising Expedition box toppers will eventually be too cheap. Maybe they'll come down to 75. Maybe we'll see 70. Maybe we'll see 70 and have a bonus box sale. But at some point, we have to acknowledge that products are too long out of print. The remaining supply has probably been cold too much, and that prices have gone too low, and it will be time to step in and more aggressively catch the falling knife. So I gave you a couple deals there. I talked about the current market conditions I wanted to say some things about. Let me know what you think, guys. There will be affiliate links down below to all of these deals, and it helps out a ton if you use them. So thanks to everyone who makes this content possible, especially my supporters on Patreon. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and join me on Final Trade.